A threatened species of bird has just been stripped of its federal protection under the Endangered Species Act.
And this latest decision impacts the lesser prairie chicken, a bird that lives throughout the Great Plains, including right here in Kansas and Missouri.
Only here on the Now KC, our Tara Hall spent some time near the Missouri-Iowa border to get a closer look at these little animals and the people working to save them despite this impactful decision.
It's hard to imagine it now with the skyscrapers and streetcar, but just 2 centuries ago, Kansas City would have actually been the center of Missouri's tall grass prairie. What we're looking at now would have been home to grasslands, buffalo, and yes, an array of the now threatened prairie chicken. There are a few reasons Bill Graham gets out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. One of them is the birds and the bees.
Once upon a time, people might have stepped out of their cabin and heard thousands of these birds making this sound across the morning sky.
That would have been back in the early 1800s. Today, the same area, 154,000 acres worth, is home to just 200. Over the last 2 centuries, farms and cattle ranches decimated their numbers.
They're beautiful in their own right, but the world is a lot more interesting when you have the variety of creatures in it like prairie chickens.
The thought of losing that, it really makes me sad because I know what the prairie is, the diversity that it provides, the peace that it gives you looking over this open landscape.
That's where the Missouri Department of Conservation and the Nature Conservancy come in. They're working to replenish the flock because they say the health of the prairie chicken equates to the health of the grasslands and all the species that live there, including more than 100 types of bees that are necessary pollinators to farmland.
Most of northern Missouri was in tallgrass prairie, and now less than 0.1% of that prairie remains. Anything that we can do to restore that prairie is incredibly important.
Birds, butterflies, some of the wildflowers, they're all scarce because native prairie is scarce. So the prairie chicken kind of represents a lot of prairie species. We want the prairie chicken to be healthy because if the prairie chicken is healthy and in good numbers, then the grassland ecosystem is healthy. And that's good for water, for soil, for a lot of different types of wildlife.
And people, including those right here in Kansas City, who need the land for its quality farming, ranching, and drinking water. Reporting at Dunn Ranch at the Missouri-Iowa border, I'm Tara Hall, the Now KC.